that is not dead, which can eternal lie, and with strange eons, even death may die. That is a quote
恐るべき厄
by
災
Howard Phillips Lovecraft.
夕食
She's a big
その災いは全てを飲み込み記憶さえも奪う
I've been in love with this game. It
数
genuinely
百年を経て
consumed
現れた突破口
I've never felt this way
シルバ
about
ーコア
gacha in a very
それは失われた魂をよ
well. Like, this isn't really a review, so I'm not gonna like go too much in it, but this is my first month in Morimens, everything I did, and where I plan on going next. To be honest, I could have done so much more in this first month, but I just didn't get to it. Even though I love this game so much, I've been trying to like hold myself back from just absorbing everything there is in this game. But let's get right into it. Alright, so in the first chapter of the story is the prologue. In that you learn about your death and how in death, dissolution, you're supposed to distance yourself from dissolution, which is like the big bad of the game, I guess you could say. It's this natural phenomenon, this like cosmic entity almost. And in the prologue, you witness your own death and you meet the first few characters of the game. First, you meet Ramona. She is like a staple character. She'll be in like every chapter of the game, or at least she has so far. You also meet Lotan. Hopefully I say their names right. And then you also meet Ogier. And that basically rounds out your team. You also meet Doll, but I don't have a picture of her. But she's also someone you meet. Other than that, the first major like boss fight that you have is with Twill. You meet her in the Black Pool, which is like this place of resonance for dissolution, if I'm understanding it correctly. So in the first two chapters, it consists of its own arc, so you learn a lot about the first major enemy faction in the game called the Sculptors. They use these like wax-like creations. It's very disgusting. You'll see an image on the screen. But in the first few chapters, you head to this orphanage and then a wax museum where you meet characters like Aegis. Hopefully I'm not butchering her name. She's based off of a Lovecraftian character, so I was surprised that they gave it to a child. But then you also meet 24 and Jenkins. 24 happens to be related to Jenkins. I won't really go too much into it because that's where you come in. That's why you should play the game. I can't be handing out everything to you. But after the end of the two chapters, you meet a character called Rogers. He's also based off of a Lovecraftian character. He's the villain. But overall, the chapters were very, very good. To be honest, the translation is a little off. It could be better, but they are working on it. And they openly said that they use AI for the time being since they're such a small team. But my god, it's still very, very good. So in chapters 3 and 4 is another arc. You'll start to notice a pattern that every two chapters tends to be an arc. Not always the case, but for the most part it is. You meet characters like Lily, Hellet, and a few others in chapter 4 when we get there. And you also meet the main antagonist, the Hellhound. Basically, Mythag gets reports that there's this Hellhound beast going around this town and killing people. So you head there to investigate, to try and figure out what is going on. You then meet Lily and the pet that she has. It's actually her friend that you find out. But she got turned into this like dissolution beast almost, And you originally think that's the Hellhound, but you learn later on that's not the case. You also meet Hellet, which she's based off of a Lovecraftian character, I believe. Same with Lily, but I'm not entirely sure on that one. Obviously, it'll be at the top. But in chapter 4, you kind of learn why the Hellhound is in this town and why it's kind of like haunting them almost. It's because the Hellhound hates people that mess with time. And this doctor inside of a clinic was pretty much experimenting on Lily. And because of that, she was going into this time chamber almost, where time didn't really move forward. It was very slowed almost. And he was constantly trying to find them. At the very end of chapter 4, you end up fighting the Hellhound, but you don't actually beat the Hellhound because he keeps regenerating almost. So you instead trap him inside of that space along with Francis, which is the doctor that was experimenting on Lily to figure out more about dissolution. And that kind of wraps up the 4 chapters. So now I'll show you my progress on my characters and everything I kind of did in terms of like team progression. Okay, so for my encounter progression, here's what we got. The main team that I'm running is Hellet, the Genesis version. There's also the regular version down here that you meet in the story. I'm running the Genesis version of Hellet, Thias, and I'm running Aegis. She's a free character you get when you complete chapter 1. And then the final character being Horla. That's kind of my main team right now. It's a very good team. It works very well. And right now I was only able to get to like level 50. Honestly, like XP is kind of a pain in the ass to get. It's been taking me a very long time to actually level up characters that I want to play. And then I'm also trying to create a second team. I wanted to use more chaos units, but because I have so many of them, I've literally have like basically every single one, I think, damn near. Actually insane. I really want to use a tentacle team, which would be a core or water basically. And I'm thinking Talulu, Murphy, Miriam, and maybe like Caucus or Goliath. I don't know. That's for like a second team, since, you know, every gacha game you need to have at least like 2 teams in order to truly make your experience actually enjoyable. Otherwise, it's just complete cancer. I don't know if that's entirely true in this game, because like I said, I've been kind of taking it quite slow, but that's just the ideology I'm kind of taking from other gachas. Maybe that's wrong, maybe it's right, not exactly sure. If anyone who plays this game quite often and is in the end game, you can happily let me know. But that's kind of my thought process so far, and kind of where I'm at with my characters. Like in terms of like actual, like you have to level up your skills. Most of them I only have level 2, since you need a bunch of materials. Then for their exalt, you need this boss material that you can only do like, I think, twice a week or something. I don't know, I've been kind of slacking on upgrading them, I'm not gonna lie. It's been quite fun to play, but that's roughly my progression. In terms of like polling, I've pulled quite a bit. I'm waiting for the new set of banners to come around, and I'm gonna use some of these polls. I have 112 of them. I don't really want this chaos character. I already have too many of them, to be honest. I don't need another. I'm not gonna lie, I just don't want another. And then this is like the weapon, so to speak, or like a light cone if you play HSR, or I don't know, a weapon if you play any other gacha game. You know exactly what this is. It's nothing different or new. This is your standard banner, then this is your weapon banner. I pulled so many of the characters. I don't know if you can see which characters I pulled. you can also switch which actual realm you want, so, and it tells you the difficulty as well. Just go like one of these two, probably go one of these three. Just don't go this one. Okay, don't go ultra. Fortunately, like a horrible class. And then once you get a bunch of characters, you then just go into wheel jail. But yeah, you don't have to listen to my advice. I'm new to the game. You don't have to, but that's what I would suggest to do. That's what I'm doing. It works quite well. It's absolutely made my count just crazy. It's actually quite good, surprisingly. I have a lot of characters. The game is pretty generous, unfortunately. The one major flaw about the game is, well, not really a flaw, it's just obviously a design choice. And basically, it's something called over exalt. So exalt is basically your ultimate ability if, you know, you're playing other games. In this game, it's called your exalt. And basically, you'd have to get, so you have 3 copies here, plus you need another 4, and you get over exalt. And basically, it just bolsters your character even more. Some characters don't need over exalt, some of them just need one of these 3 copies on the right hand side. It's not always the case, but it's definitely the worst part about this game, because my god, copies are kind of difficult to get. Obviously in the store, where is it? Where is it? It's somewhere here. What the? Where is it? Is it this one? No, it's gotta be this one. Yeah, right here. So basically you can buy one of these every month, every time this resets, which is like, I think every month. And this is a free copy of limited or standard characters, any character in the game. So it's actually pretty good. And then this, no, not that. This is for wheels. It's the same thing, but for wheels. So that's also very good to get from the shop. Otherwise, this game is a lot of fun, but the copies that you sometimes need for certain characters, my god, can it get daunting. But they do hand out quite a bit of currency. Like, I have 112 limited pulls, so, and basically every 30 pulls you get a character, or not a character, you get a legendary character or a 5-star, whatever you wish to call it, SSR, whatever. It might not be the guaranteed character every 3rd time or 2nd time. Is it a 50-50 or is it a 33% chance? I don't know, it's something like that. Regardless, it's a lot of fun. If you've never played this game, or if you've heard of it but then you didn't think about trying it, you gotta try it. This is actually just, it's actually fucking addicting. I don't know how to describe it. This shit is actually so addicting. But yeah, that's the end of the video. I'll do another monthly update in a month from now, or we'll probably go over the next 4 chapters, or maybe I'll play more of the game. I don't know, we'll see. But I'm just taking my time, kind of going with the flow, not really like rushing through it, and we'll see where it takes me.